Sometimes, taking a step back can surprisingly bring someone closer, much like an intriguing magnetic force. Today, we're delving into a subtle approach that turns conventional thinking upside down, how a bit of distance can actually heighten someone's interest in you. It may seem counterintuitive, but a touch of space might just be the secret to igniting genuine curiosity and attraction. We're not advocating for cold indifference or manipulation. Rather, this is about recognizing the delicate balance between offering attention and overwhelming it. It's about being strategically reserved, demonstrating that your life is rich and inviting, which can make you incredibly captivating. This tactic isn't about playing games. It's about showing self-respect by not rushing the process. In doing so, you encourage her to respect you in return. By maintaining this equilibrium, you become more than just another person vying for her focus. You turn into someone whose presence feels special and rare. This subtle change can help her view you differently, potentially leading her to seek you out, intrigued by the person behind the allure. As we explore this approach, consider how being less accessible can sometimes make you more appealing. If this perspective resonates with you, remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more insights on relationships. Join us as we uncover additional ways to foster meaningful connections through a bit of Stoic wisdom. Step 1. Take the initiative. The first move is crucial. It's a moment where you set the tone and assert control over the dynamic from the outset. In Stoicism, power is intricately linked to self-control and the understanding that while you can't dictate the outcome, you can govern your own actions. When you approach a woman and express your interest, you're demonstrating confidence. You're showing that you know what you want and are willing to risk rejection gracefully. Imagine this. You encounter someone at a social gathering. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or hoping she'll notice you, you seize the opportunity. You introduce yourself effortlessly, steer the conversation toward topics that showcase your personality, and propose future plans, whether it's grabbing coffee or attending an event together. By doing this, you maintain control of the interaction, and this confidence naturally radiates from you. She's intrigued because most people tend to be hesitant or overly cautious. You've demonstrated comfort in your own skin by taking the lead in organizing the date and guiding the interaction. For a time, you're the one directing the energy of the relationship. However, many people make a critical error after taking that first step. They start chasing, bombarding her with messages, and seeking constant validation. This is where Stoic philosophy offers valuable insight. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of not allowing our desires to control us. After you've made the initial move, resist the temptation to over-pursue. Once you've set the stage, allow her the space to respond. Let her ponder your absence and consider why you're not always seeking her attention. This is where the dynamic shifts. By giving her room to engage, you create an air of mystery that piques her curiosity. This space is vital because desire tends to flourish in absence. There comes a pivotal moment in every interaction where your next move is crucial. If you push too hard, you risk coming across as desperate. If you withdraw too much, you might come off as uninterested. The Stoics remind us that finding balance is essential. Once you've made that bold initial move, the true power lies in restraint. It's all about mastering the art of doing less. It's easy to get wrapped up in seeking immediate validation or a steady flow of communication. However, by taking a step back, you create a situation where she begins to pursue you. The Stoic principle of self-control teaches us that real strength comes from resisting fleeting desires. When you can hold back from constantly chasing her, you demonstrate emotional discipline. You show that you're not needy, but rather secure in yourself, which is incredibly appealing. By pulling back and resisting the urge to constantly check in or plan everything, you create space for her to reach out. You shift from being the pursuer to becoming the pursued. When you lead with confidence and master the art of restraint, you cultivate an alluring mix of strength and mystery. You aren't swayed by impulse or anxiety. Instead, you embody a calm understanding of your own value. By knowing when to hold back, you give her the opportunity to chase you. As this dynamic shifts, she starts to wonder and invest in the interaction. with eventually finding herself drawn to your calm confidence, which sets you apart. Step 2. Don't reveal everything right away. Imagine meeting someone you're deeply attracted to. It's natural to want to share everything about yourself, showcase your best qualities, and express your feelings immediately. You might think that showering her with your time, attention, and affection is the best way to win her over. However, there's a catch. People often don't value what comes too easily. If you lay all your cards on the table from the start, what's left for her to discover? When you meet someone special, it can be tempting to show all your emotions right away, even offering boyfriend or girlfriend services before you're officially in a relationship. While this might feel right in the moment, it can backfire. Stoicism teaches us to manage our emotions and avoid acting on impulse. By not revealing everything up front, you allow for an element of mystery and anticipation to develop. Just like men, women are drawn to the excitement of the chase. They're intrigued by someone who knows how to pace themselves, leaving room for curiosity to flourish. She doesn't want to learn everything about you immediately. If she knows your entire backstory after the first date, where's the thrill in getting to know you? It's the unknown, the what's next, that keeps her engaged. Consider this. If you overwhelm her with attention, compliments, and constant availability from the beginning, it can become too much, and she might start to take it for granted. But if you practice restraint, showing just enough to maintain her interest while keeping some mystery alive, you create that captivating tension that makes her want to learn more. She'll begin to think about you, wondering what you're up to when you're not around, and feeling an unexpected pull towards you. For instance, imagine after a first date, instead of texting her right away, you wait a day. This gives her time to process the experience and reflect on how much she enjoyed your company. When you're not constantly in touch, she has space to think and wonder, which creates a psychological effect that prompts her to seek your attention. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, your ability to hold back becomes a standout quality. By adopting this Stoic mindset, you're not engaging in mind games. You're simply preserving your own peace of mind. You demonstrate that you value yourself and aren't in a rush to prove your worth. Over time, this confident self-control becomes increasingly attractive. She'll be attracted to you because you're not seeking validation desperately. You become a puzzle she's excited to figure out, a story she wants to continue reading. So, keep in mind that you don't need to share everything all at once. Hold back a bit, leave some things unspoken, and let her wonder. It's the mystery that drives the chase. When you merge this idea with Stoic principles of self-restraint, you not only enhance attraction, but also safeguard your inner peace and bolster your confidence. Before we move on to the next step, take a moment to reflect on the importance of pacing yourself and fostering curiosity in a relationship. Does this concept resonate with you? If it does, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Even a simple phrase like, "less is more," can be a strong way to show you connect with this message. And if you're finding these insights valuable, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that can help you navigate relationships with a Stoic approach. Your support is greatly appreciated. Step 3. Stick to your plans, no matter what she says. Picture this. You've met someone special, and things are going well. But there's a crucial truth that many men overlook when it comes to building attraction. It's not about being endlessly available or accommodating her every request. The real secret lies in living with purpose, staying true to your values, and embodying the calm, composed mindset of a Stoic. Sometimes it's about knowing when to step back and not respond immediately, not as a form of manipulation, but out of self-respect and a focus on what genuinely matters to you. This creates a dynamic where she starts to pursue you, attracted to the strength you project. One important way to demonstrate this is by sticking to your plans. It might seem straightforward, but it's something many men struggle with. When she calls wanting to meet up or suggests a last-minute date, it's tempting to drop everything to make a good impression. But what kind of impression does that leave? It signals that your time isn't valuable and that your life revolves around her. The Stoic mindset encourages us to maintain control over our actions and choices. If you give in too quickly, you lose that control and send the message that you're willing to set aside your priorities. For example, if she texts you one evening, asking if you're available to hang out, but you already have plans to catch up with an old friend you haven't seen in years, stick to your commitment. The average guy might jump at the opportunity to be with her, even canceling plans with a friend in the process. However, by embracing the Stoic mindset, you recognize the value of balance, respect, and maintaining your own life outside of her. Instead of altering your plans, you say, "I'd love to see you, but I already have plans with a friend tonight. How about another time?" What you're doing here is more impactful than it appears. First, you're showing that your life is fulfilling. Your world doesn't revolve around her. This sense of purpose and independence is attractive because it signals that you value your time and stick to your commitments. In her eyes, you become more than just another guy who's readily available. You emerge as someone with a distinct path, one that she'll want to join. Women are drawn to a challenge, especially from someone who clearly respects themselves and their time. When you make her work for your attention and demonstrate that you won't be available at a moment's notice, you become someone worth pursuing. She'll begin to realize that your attention is something she has to earn, and that's when the dynamic shifts. Instead of you chasing her, she'll start pursuing you, eager to be part of your world. It's crucial to understand that this approach isn't about playing games. It's about living with integrity and the discipline that Stoicism advocates. You're not ignoring her to manipulate her. You're simply prioritizing your own life and commitments. You're simply staying true to your own priorities, demonstrating that your life is rich and fulfilling on its own. If she wants to be part of it, she'll need to align herself with your values. This is the kind of strength that Stoicism promotes. A calm, steady confidence that naturally attracts others without any effort or pretense. So the next time she asks you to drop everything, remember the importance of sticking to your plans. Honor your commitments, value your time, and observe how she becomes increasingly drawn to you. You're not just playing hard to get, you're living a life that's genuinely worth pursuing. And that's the ultimate form of attraction. Step 4. Don't let her provoke jealousy. When you find yourself in a situation like this, it's crucial to recognize that her actions may be a test of your emotional resilience. She might be trying to elicit a reaction, hoping that seeing her with another guy or her sudden distance will ignite feelings of insecurity in you. Her aim is to make you feel like you're losing her, prompting you to chase her more fervently. This is where Stoic wisdom proves invaluable. Instead of reacting with emotion, strive to remain calm and composed. Stoicism teaches us to concentrate on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses. You can't control what she shares on social media or how she interacts with others, but you can manage your own reactions. By disregarding her attempts to provoke jealousy, you demonstrate mastery over your emotions, showing that you won't be easily manipulated by her games. If you respond with jealousy or desperation, you're only validating her tactic. Instead, opt for silence and indifference. For instance, she might start posting photos with another guy, suggesting she's moved on. Or you could see her out with someone else, acting like she's no longer interested in you. The instinctive reaction might be to confront her, inquire about what's happening, or rush to prove your worth. However, this approach only gives her the upper hand and indicates that she can control your emotions, which is precisely what you want to avoid. Stoicism teaches the value of restraint. By choosing not to react, you send a strong message that her attempts to incite jealousy won't affect you. You maintain your composure, not because you don't care, but because you recognize that true strength lies in emotional control. If she genuinely values you, she'll see that her efforts to provoke jealousy have failed, which may prompt her to rethink her actions. She'll start to wonder why you're not reacting, and that curiosity will draw her back to you. Let's say you've already made an effort by expressing your feelings, showing genuine interest, and taking steps to build a connection. Then, out of nowhere, she goes cold, stopping her texts and initiating conversations, making it seem like her interest has vanished. Your instinct might be to try harder, to ask her what's wrong, or to keep pursuing her. However, Stoicism teaches that in these moments, the most powerful move is to step back. Instead of chasing her, focus on living your life. Engage in your passions, spend time with friends, and enjoy your own company. This demonstrates to her, and more importantly, to yourself, that you're perfectly fine on your own. You don't need her validation, and you refuse to let her distant behavior disturb your peace of mind. When she notices that you're no longer easily accessible, she'll realize she must put in more effort to earn your attention. This is when the dynamic shifts. She'll start to question why you're not pursuing her anymore and may come back on her own terms. If she's genuinely interested, she'll recognize your calm indifference and see that her attempts to provoke a reaction have failed. You'll stand out as someone who isn't easily swayed by emotions. She'll understand that your attention is valuable, and if she wants it, she'll have to work for it. By practicing Stoic principles, you become someone who doesn't simply react to others' whims. You remain grounded in your own sense of self, confident that if she is meant to be in your life, she will make the effort. She'll reach out to you, and if she doesn't, you've demonstrated the strength to move on without letting her emotional games disrupt your peace. As you contemplate the power of self-restraint and the importance of standing your ground, remember that maintaining composure, practicing emotional control, and focusing on your own life are not just tactics for dealing with a specific situation. They are invaluable Stoic principles for life. What are your thoughts on this? Does it resonate with you? I'd love to hear your insights. If this message speaks to you, feel free to type "emotional strength is my power" in the comments. Your experiences could inspire others, so don't hold back. Step 5. Don't rush to reply to her messages. Imagine this. You receive a text from her, and your first instinct is to respond immediately, eager to keep the conversation going. But what if I told you that the secret to making her chase you isn't in replying right away, but in mastering the art of waiting? This isn't about playing mind games or being manipulative. It's about exercising the discipline and emotional control that Stoics value so highly. In life, we don't always need to act on our impulses. In fact, sometimes the most effective move is to pause, reflect, and allow others to come to us. When she sends a message, resist the urge to grab your phone and reply immediately. While it might feel like you're creating distance, you're actually giving her the space to start thinking about you. As she wonders what you're up to and why you haven't replied yet, her curiosity starts to build. Questions will arise. What are you doing? Are you too busy to respond? Maybe you're with someone else. The human mind is naturally drawn to the unknown, and by holding off on your reply, you're fostering a sense of intrigue. This is where the concept of Stoic patience comes into play, deciding when to act and when to hold back, all while maintaining control over your emotions. For example, if she sends a casual text like, "How's your day going?" instead of replying immediately with all the details, take a moment to step back. Wait 30 minutes or even an hour. During that time, she won't just be idly waiting, her mind will be racing. She may start to wonder why you haven't responded. Is he busy? Did I say something wrong? She might even find herself missing your attention, making her more eager for your reply. This approach shifts the dynamic. She begins to understand that you won't always be available at her convenience. This creates a subtle yet significant tension, compelling her to pursue your attention, which now feels more valuable because it's not guaranteed. You're not just sitting around waiting for her to engage with you. You're demonstrating that you have a life, your own priorities, and you're not constantly glued to your phone. However, it's important to remember that delaying your response isn't about punishing her or causing unnecessary anxiety. It's all about striking the right balance between being accessible and not appearing too eager. While you should eventually reply, ignoring her for too long may lead her to feel disrespected or overlooked, which can backfire. The aim isn't to ghost her, but rather to give her a glimpse of what it's like to miss your presence, even if it's just momentarily. This is where emotional control becomes crucial. Stoicism emphasizes mastering your reactions and not allowing external factors to dictate your emotions. By delaying your response, you're exercising that control, resisting the urge for instant gratification. Instead, you're choosing a timing that aligns with your long-term relationship goals. This self-restraint can be incredibly appealing. It showcases your confidence, independence, and a strong sense of self-worth. Keep in mind that the objective isn't to make her feel ignored, but to foster a dynamic where she appreciates your attention and begins to pursue you in return. By adopting Stoic principles, you're not just postponing a reply, you're exhibiting mastery over your emotions and actions, which naturally sets you apart. It's a delicate balance between patience and action, self-restraint and engagement. When executed well, she'll find herself eager for your attention, wondering when she'll hear from you next. Step 6. If you spot her in public, just ignore her. Imagine you're at a social event, perhaps a bar or a gathering with mutual friends, and you suddenly notice her, the woman who once captured your full attention. Your heart may race, and the urge to walk over and say hi might arise. After all, it's been a while since you last connected, and it seems natural to rekindle that interaction. However, this is the moment to pause, take a breath, and embrace a Stoic mindset. This encounter could significantly influence the dynamic between you two. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-discipline, emotional regulation, and resisting momentary impulses. In this situation, those principles are essential. If you rush to approach her, you're letting your emotions dictate your behavior. Instead, reflect on how Stoicism encourages you to maintain your composure and stay grounded. The true power lies in restraint, showing that her presence doesn't sway you. In essence, you're not the one pursuing her. If you happen to see her, whether through shared friends or by chance, and your first instinct is to engage, take a moment to hold back. You've already put in the effort to present yourself as strong, independent, and confident. Now's the time to let those traits shine. Consider this. If you dash over with a big smile and eager conversation, it may undermine that image you've cultivated. What does it convey if you're still emotionally attached and waiting for this moment? While it's natural to feel that way, acting on those feelings too quickly can lessen your perceived worth. Instead, focus on staying where you are, engaging with your friends, laughing, and enjoying the moment. This isn't about playing games. It's about maintaining your self-respect and showing her that you're not reliant on her approval. You are content and confident, with or without her. This is the essence of Stoicism. Recognizing that you control your emotions and actions unaffected by external circumstances. By choosing not to approach her, you subtly change the dynamic. You're not rejecting her, but you're also not pursuing her actively. This creates curiosity. She might wonder, is he still interested? What's happening in his life? Why isn't he rushing over to me? As intrigue builds, she may find herself approaching you, drawn by your calm demeanor and the mystery you present. You've become a puzzle she wants to engage with. The beauty of this approach lies in its authenticity. It's not about manipulation, but about embodying Stoic principles, remaining composed and focused, not ruled by the urge for immediate satisfaction. In doing so, you elevate your value in her eyes, showcasing that you're not easily influenced by emotions, which ultimately makes you more appealing. You're demonstrating that you have depth, rather than simply chasing after any fleeting attention she might provide. When she eventually approaches you, the conversation will be on your terms. She's coming to you because she's attracted to your calm and steady presence. This strategy isn't about being indifferent. It's about developing the inner strength and confidence that naturally attracts others. Before we move on to the next point, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a situation where maintaining your composure and balance, like the Stoics recommend, worked out well for you? Or perhaps you're just beginning to see how these principles can impact modern relationships. Whatever your experience, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. If this message resonates with you, simply write "Strength comes from within" to show your agreement. Your insights might inspire someone else. Now, let's talk about step 7. When she's angry, take a step back and reassess. Imagine you've been so absorbed in work or other commitments that you've unintentionally created some distance. Suddenly, she's upset, maybe even a bit confrontational. Before rushing to respond, pause and evaluate the situation, just as the Stoics would advise. Stoicism teaches us to maintain control over our emotions rather than allowing them to dictate our reactions. If she's angry because of your busyness, it's important to understand that her feelings may not be solely about you. Her anger might be rooted in her own insecurities or a desire for constant attention. This is where Stoic principles become essential. Stay composed and avoid reacting impulsively. Instead, reflect on the underlying issue. Is this the kind of energy you want in your life? If you recognize that you've genuinely made a mistake and her frustration is justified, it's crucial to acknowledge that. The Stoics emphasized accountability and owning up to our actions. However, if her anger arises merely from your busyness and managing your responsibilities, it might indicate that she prioritizes her needs over your boundaries. In this case, practicing emotional detachment is vital to gain clarity. Ignoring her doesn't mean being unkind. Rather, it's about shifting the power dynamic and allowing both of you time to think. If she returns with a calmer demeanor, apologizing for her outburst and expressing her feelings, it reflects emotional maturity. Conversely, if she continues to lash out, it could highlight a lack of compatibility in emotional maturity. Here's the Stoic insight. You shouldn't feel compelled to chase someone who disturbs your peace. For instance, if you've been working late and she sends a sarcastic or frustrated message, resist the urge to immediately justify yourself. Staying calm and not engaging with her anger can spark her curiosity. She may begin to question why you're not reacting or scrambling for her approval. In fact, the more you refrain from engaging with her emotional turmoil, the more likely she is to pursue you in an attempt to regain your attention. However, it's essential to reflect afterward. Do you truly want someone who struggles with moments of distance or personal space? Does she respect your time and effort, or is she someone who constantly seeks validation? If she shows that she can't handle minor issues without resorting to anger, it could indicate that the relationship lacks mutual respect. The Stoics would suggest letting go of anything that disturbs your inner peace. If her reaction to being ignored is to escalate her anger and place blame, it might be time to move on and seek someone who shares your values. Remember, relationships should contribute to your tranquility, not detract from it. If she doesn't recognize your worth, someone else surely will. Step 8. Stay engaged and live life fully. This principle is crucial not only for attracting someone, but also for living a fulfilling life. While it's natural to desire love and a deep connection with someone who truly appreciates you, pursuing it too fervently often leads to frustration. Why is that? Because when you become overly focused on finding love, you lose your equilibrium and start to come off as needy, something that repels rather than attracts. Stoicism encourages us to concentrate on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and energy. This involves creating a rich inner life that makes love and connection natural outcomes rather than your primary objective. Consider this. Have you ever become so fixated on the idea of finding a partner that you neglected other important aspects of your life? Maybe you skipped outings with friends, let your career goals slide, or stopped engaging in hobbies that once brought you joy. When your sole focus becomes dating or pursuing someone, you risk losing the qualities that make you attractive: your independence, passion, and personal growth. You begin to rely on the idea of someone else to complete you, and that's when things begin to fall apart. Let's explore this further with an example. When you start dating someone new, it's exhilarating, and you may find yourself eager to spend every moment with her. You might start texting her constantly, rearranging your schedule to be more available, and making every effort to impress her. Initially, she might enjoy the attention, but over time, this can cause you to lose the very qualities that attracted her in the first place: your confidence, sense of adventure, and life outside of the relationship. You become too predictable, always present and available, and unfortunately, that predictability can diminish the excitement. This is where Stoicism can be a helpful guide. Instead of getting consumed by the desire for her affection, focus on laying the groundwork for your own life. Dedicate time to self-improvement, grow your career, pursue hobbies, and nurture meaningful friendships. By doing this, you create a life that is rich in purpose and fulfillment, making it so compelling that she will want to chase after you to be a part of it. You shift from seeking validation from someone else to offering value through the life you've cultivated. Being busy isn't about pretending to have no time. It's about genuinely leading a life so full that you don't rely on anyone else to complete it. When your attention is directed toward personal growth and passions, you stop worrying about whether she'll text you back or if she's interested. You simply don't have the time to dwell on those thoughts because you're too busy living your life to the fullest. When you take pride in your own life and pursuits, the dynamic shifts. She'll start to notice that your attention isn't easily won, leading her to wonder why you're not always available. This curiosity will make her more invested as she contemplates how she can fit into your busy world. When you're deeply engaged in your passions, you don't have the mental space to obsess over someone else's actions. You aren't checking your phone every few minutes for a reply. Instead, you're focused on building something meaningful, whether that's your career, friendships, or health. Ironically, the less you chase after someone, the more they may be drawn to you. The Stoic lesson here is straightforward. Focus on what you can control: your time, energy, and priorities. When you live intentionally and with purpose, people will naturally gravitate toward you. Being busy isn't just a strategy. It's a reflection of a life well lived. When you embody this lifestyle, you'll find that she's the one trying to keep up with you, not the other way around. Ultimately, it's a win-win situation. You're fulfilling your own life, and if she's the right match, she'll pursue you. Not because you're ignoring her, but because you've demonstrated that you don't need anyone to complete you. You already have everything you need. Now that we've discussed the importance of staying busy and fully engaged in life, now is the moment to reflect. Which areas of your life might you be neglecting in your quest for someone else's affection? Or have you discovered that by pursuing your own passions, you naturally attract others to you? I'd love to hear your insights and experiences, as they could inspire those who are on a similar journey. Feel free to leave a comment or simply type "I am the prize" if you connect with this message. Your experiences are important, and we're all growing and learning together. As we conclude today's discussion, it's evident that the art of attraction involves as much inaction as action. By embracing Stoic principles of self-control and emotional independence, we recognize that sometimes taking a step back can actually bring someone closer. This approach isn't about playing games. It's about finding a balance that honors both your individuality and the dynamics of attraction. We've seen how making yourself less accessible can ironically enhance your desirability, and how a strong sense of self-respect can inspire respect from others. Remember, it's not about withholding affection to manipulate. It's about showcasing that you value yourself and your life, making you all the more captivating. I hope you found our exploration of these strategies insightful and applicable to modern relationships. If this video spoke to you, please give it a like and share it with others. Your engagement helps us reach more people with these valuable insights. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's discussion, so feel free to leave a comment below. Share your experiences or simply write "Stoic wisdom enlightens" to show you're on this journey toward deeper understanding and meaningful relationships. Lastly, be sure to check out the recommended videos on your screen for more tips and guidance on navigating relationships through Stoic principles. Thank you for watching, and until next time, continue embracing the wisdom that brings a more fulfilling and balanced life.